field na yun. So for example, kami, when we do payroll software, we've been doing it for more than 10 to 12 years na. So yung software namin has been evolving na ever since. Lahat ng mga regulations ng BIR, regulations ng SSS, yung mga computations, mga holidays, etc. Lahat nandun na sa program namin. So sila, gagamitin lang nila yung program, the system already computes for them yung mga tamang sweldo ng tao. Kasi kung palpak yung sweldo na lumalabas dun sa software, di sila naman ang mananagot sa kliyente nila. So it has to be sure, we have to make sure na yung mga ginagamit nilang mga tools very sharp or very accurate.
Kumbaga sir, yung mga related sa ano ninyo like sa accounting or sa payroll na wala sa inyong kumpanya, nag-outsource din kayo sa iba. Ganun po ba yun?
Ang nangyayari, Gladys, gaya ng ginawa kong definition ng outsourcing, hindi namin kagalingan or core competency yung gumawa ng accounting program or payroll program. Hindi namin skill sets, hindi lang forte namin. So outsourcing pa rin naman, okay, here's Wilson. We will appoint him as a business partner. Oh, Wilson, ikaw gumawa niyan for us, no? So that we can provide efficient, no? Efficient na pagpaprocess ng mga pasweldo at accounting at financial reporting ng mga kliyente namin.
Sir, ano bang mga ma-advise nyo dun sa mga kago-negosyo viewers natin na gusto rin magsimula ng ganitong klaseng negosyo katulad ng sa inyo?
Importante kasi sa outsourcing, dapat you must have the competency, no? And the skill sets to do outsourcing. Kasi kung wala kang credibility before the eyes of your potential customers or clients, mahirapan sila magtiwala sa iyo kasi ang nangyayari kasi they will cut a portion of their activity, ibibigay sa iyo, ikaw na gumawa niyan, but definitely dapat reliable yung service mo at walang mali doon sa ginagawa mo. If it's sa payroll or accounting, dapat tama yung mga financial information or payroll information that you provide to your clients. Importante yung makita ng customer mo na magaling ka talaga dyan sa ginagawa mo. Gaya sa amin, requirement namin, mga certified public accountants yung nag-handle ng accounting services. No?
Sir, would you like to add?
Ako naman, more on the technology field kami, no? More on programming, more on computer. So, dapat talaga you have to always be abreast or you have to be kumbaga updated lagi. Kasi every 6 months, parang iba na yung computers natin, iba na yung mga technology natin. So, it's always a must that you have to keep on learning or keep on learning new things to make sure na nagamit mo yung technology to be more efficient in what you're doing.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chua, Mr. Kubakob. Ngayon naman po pakinggan natin ang Angelpreneur Advice ni Paulo Tibig for this week's MBA or Magandang Business Advice.
Galing po sa bankruptcy yung negosyo ng pamilya namin. Gusto ko po ulit mag-start ng negosyo, kaya lang po, para pong natakot na po ako, na-trauma na po dun sa past experience namin. Paano po kaya ulit ako makakapagsimula ng panahon?
Alam mo, magandang tanong yan kasi isa rin ako sa dumaan sa ganyang problema. Karaniwan naman talaga sa nagiging successful entrepreneurs at yung sa mga dire-diretsong at nagpapatuloy na gawin yung tama, dumadaan sa maraming failures. In fact, nung nagsisimula ako sa pagnenegosyo, siguro mga 5 businesses ang sinimulan ko na talagang lahat to nag-fail. But then again, hindi ako nagpatalo dun sa failure na yon. Kasi paano tayo magsasucceed in one endeavor kung sa una pa lang, umaayaw na tayo? Ang pinakamaganda nga nito, yung mga learnings natin na natanggap o nakuha ng mga failure ng ating other businesses, gawin nating halimbawa na siya yung magiging magandang experience nang sa ganon maiwasan na natin. So ibig sabihin, yung mga naging learnings na to, gawin nating benchmarking. I-benchmark natin na sa lahat ng best practices o yung mga practices na nagawa natin na alam nating hindi magiging maganda no, sa ating business operations, maiwasan na natin sa susunod. So, in effect, pinaka-effective pa rin yung approach na eto ko ngayon, based on these learnings, based on these threats, based on these weaknesses, i-convert ko siya into dun sa mga strength or strong potentials na naman ng sarili natin towards doing our business operations.
Dear Go Negosyo, my name is Pia, graduating student from National College of Science and Technology in Cavite. I have always wanted to have my own fashion boutique. Since kikay naman po ako at mahilig pumorma. But I'm afraid I'm too young to start a business, lalo na sa clothing, kasi baka hindi ma-appreciate ng mga girls ang designs ko. Ano pong encouragement ang kaya niyong maibigay sa akin? Sincerely, Pia. Naku, pareho tayo, Pia. Kung di mo na itatanong, may pagka-fashionista rin ako. Kaya dito sa Go Negosyo, enjoy akong mag-mix and match ng damit at accessories. At sakto naman, ang featured business natin for today, about fashion. So girls, it's time to wear pink from this weekend's featured negosyo. Pink Manila! O diba, Pink? Girl na girl talaga. Pero syempre, hindi naman pink lang ang tanging makikita dito sa Pink Manila. Pero teka, bakit nga ba Pink Manila ang tawag sa butik na ito?
Name Pink Manila was conceptualized because for us, when you think of the color pink, we think it best represents young ladies.
Walang ibang makakakilala sa babae kundi kapwa babae. At yan nga, ang naging sikreto kung paano nagsimula ang Pink Manila.
Ever since I was young, I always loved dressing up and I always loved fashion. So, I really wanted to have to work in the fashion industry. So, I decided when I graduated that I wanted to have this business.
O, kaya niyo yon? Wala pang 3 taon ng Pink Manila, pero may 5 boutiques and stalls na kaagad sila. And what sets Pink Manila apart from other fashion boutiques and clothing companies?
We think that we have an edge because we're always updated. As in, every 2 weeks, all of our stuff are different. Yeah, most of it are completely different from what you're seeing right now.
Most of our target customers are the young and trendy, and most of our clothes are have small sizes, so it's mostly the petites or a little bit bigger.
We look at the trends in the internet, we research, then when it's approved, we go directly to abroad, like Bangkok, China, Hong Kong. Then we talk to the manufacturers.
At the moment, we have 6 branches. Our plans in the future, we hope to open our own store, yung stand-alone in the mall. Eventually, when we're more
Financially stable.
and known. To become a very successful entrepreneur, number 1, you should really love fashion. Number 2, you should be masipag and to be willing to do all the work,
Sacrifices.
and sacrifices for the job. And number 3 is always be updated and on the latest trends.
You should always research on the internet, magazines, on what's new. So you won't be
Left
left behind.
Naku, hindi rin pala madali ang magsimula ng ganitong klaseng negosyo. Pero sabi nga, basta alam mo ang produkto o serbisyong ibinibigay mo, abay, kayang-kaya mo maging successful sa ganitong negosyo. Sana nakatulong kami sa iyo, Pia, at sa mga bagets na natatakot magsimula ng kanilang sariling negosyo. Bukas, makakasama po natin para sa mas marami pang business tips ang isa ring batang negosyante ng Pink Manila. Pero kung talagang hindi kayo mapigilan at gusto nyo pa ng up-to-date negosyo tips, you may log on to www.gonegosyo.net o tumawag po sa mga numbers na nasa inyong screen. Don't forget to get a copy of Joey Concepcion's 55 Inspiring Stories of Women Entrepreneurs and of course, 21 Steps on How to Start Your Own Business, written by Dean Pax Lapid and Mr. Ping Soto, available at all major bookstores nationwide. Marami pong salamat sa